How are you guys? Welcome back to Wargaming China, the channel where I platform my understanding of the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression from 1931 to 1945 in China, and I do this mainly for the wargamer and modelers, amateur historians, people who like the obscure. And today I'm gonna have a little chat about the Vickers Light Dragon tracked towing vehicle in Chinese service. Now, in 1933, the Chinese government, the Chinese military had realized that they had a need for 75mm anti-aircraft guns, medium anti-aircraft guns, and they approached the firm of Vickers and bought 12 75mm AA guns and 12 Light Dragon Mark II towing vehicles for them. Now, that's what the books say. Now, what the images show, what these are Vickers Dragons Mark II Bs. Well, one is a B and one is a C, and the only difference between the C and the B is the B has an exhaust pipe that is unprotected and the C has an armoured plate over the exhaust pipe. Now, these are from early war miniatures in 20mm, very nice they are. However, they are not correct for China. So, as usual, or as unusually, you get to learn history from my mistakes, and I hope it'll help you build a better army. You know, I might convert these tracks. What's the problem is it's the tracks. The drive system is wrong. Now, the Chinese, when they approached Vickers in 1933, had a tight budget. And Vickers had a huge catalogue of what they could build for you. And on the catalogue in 1933 was the Vickers Type 4, which would go on to be produced as the Indian patent Vickers light tank. And only 20 of these were produced. However, photographic evidence shows that the track system of the light Vickers that China received was indeed the drive system from the Indian patent. Now, this is a Mark V light tank. So, I'll show you this. Now, the Mark V light tank has, as you can see, 4 road wheels and 1 return roller above them. Now, on the Chinese Dragons, it's a similar drive system, but that return roller is placed further forward. So the Chinese Dragons had the drive system of the Mark IV Vickers tank, light tank. So this would make them the 12 Vickers Mark IIID that no pictures appear. And if you look up the Vickers Light Dragon, you see it gets Mark IIA, Mark II BC, ABC, and there's a D but no pictures of it. So the D was the one that was in Chinese service, and it's the one with the track drive from their Type 4 Vickers light tank. So there you go, something unique that was serving in China, because, you know, China was always keen to buy prototypes or experimental types because you could get them a bit cheaper. You know, times were hard in China, times were hard globally in 1933, so the Chinese opted for a version of the Vickers that was far cheaper. It would have been far cheaper than the Type Mark II C, because that was not a cheap vehicle. In fact, Vickers, after selling the 12 to China, would reintroduce the DA50 model, and that would eventually end up as the Bren carrier. a much simplified drive system and track system. So there you go. Vickers Light Dragon in Chinese service. I think it's only fair that there should have been a bit of mystery about it, because it is a dragon, but certainly a nice kit, and usually seen towing both for 75mm AA guns, because it appears the Vickers 75mm AA gun was a bit flimsy, and most of them were captured early on in the war. So, which means that the Vickers Light Dragons would most probably have seen service in and around Chongqing, you know, from 1937 onwards. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was revealing. A nice little bit of history. And smash that subscribe button if you haven't, or hit the like button. See ya.